Yo, welcome back, y'all, to another video. First of all, thank y'all so much for the support, for the subscriptions, for the likes, the comments. Really, it's been wonderful to see, and I've had so much fun interacting with you. Sorry I haven't gotten to everything, or if I missed a comment, but really, y'all are helping me become a better player. Y'all are building a community, and I love to see it. So today we're gonna just be going through some tips and tricks. And guys, remember, I'm not a professional. I don't know like a lot about this game. I'm very much a casual player. So these are just my suggestions. Maybe something along the way can help you. And I apologize for any lack of terminology that I have. If I don't really know what a certain move is called, feel free to correct me down below. But just let's share some knowledge. If I made a mistake, let me know down below and we can fix it. Let's talk about ways to get better as a whole. And also, I want to hear how you guys are liking this game. We have waited 16 plus years for this game. I'm just excited. All right, so let's hop in and I'll catch you with some tips. All right, y'all. So out the gate, I mean, I talked about it. I'm gonna preach for this. Please, 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 please go to battle training.
We're going back to the basics.
It's wonderful. I know it doesn't have everything, man. Believe me, I wish it had more. But it teaches you the foundation, and it gives you the opportunity to actually just constantly get that reinforcement, get that constant kind of practice in when it comes to certain maneuvers. I promise you're gonna get better just by even just doing this, going through everything. This is massive because this gives you the opportunity to actually, like I said, reinforce a lot of these things so that I know I experience it, but a lot of the times through battles, I kind of panic. I forget combos and stuff like that. I forget what a button does which. So this is where you're going to really etch it into your mind and really kind of get that practice in. So again, hit battle training. And one of my favorite features about this is they have freaking demos. This is, I know majority of games potentially have this, or fighting games have this, but this is massive. Take advantage of this. If you don't know what it looks like, if you're unsure about a lot of this stuff, take a look at the demos and go in to battle training and practice. And so we're going to move on to the next tip. All right, guys, my next tip is pretty simple. Play the story. Get used to playing against the CPUs, etc. I know a lot of us, I don't know, but I know I felt it where I was like, okay, now I really want to jump into ranked. I really want to play someone online. Take a beat. Again, like part of the magic that came with Budokai Tenkaichi was the in my opinion, the lack of online play. I mean, your whole world was playing the game itself. It wasn't about, obviously I know with online play, it's connecting with others and you're constantly comparing yourself to others. But remember, it was just you and this game and what was built in it. And I think that's such an important thing when it comes to getting better at this game, is really just engaging with it, learning it. And like, I know it's cheesy, but guys, have fun. Like, there's so much to this. The story is amazing. I know we've seen it 1,000 times, but really engage in the episodes and stuff like that and go with it. And just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I cannot emphasize this enough. So yeah, that's my second tip in terms of... Right. So for a third tip, and probably a lot of y'all are just like, all right, just get to the battle. And I get that. But my first tip is charge whenever you get the moment. Really, this is so important, and I think it's really crucial when it comes to, because a lot of your movement takes this up, and a lot of vanishing and a lot of other things in terms of being ready to fire off a Kamehameha or fire it off an attack. You need to constantly have energy and be ready, because it also helps with vanishing. It helps with a lot of other things. So just whenever you get a moment, charge. All right, y'all. So for my next tip, And of course, I'm not going to be focusing too much on combos, but more of mindsets and more of, okay, how do we go about approaching this with the foundation, with the kind of basics of what we have. So another thing that we want to keep in mind is we don't always, and a lot of the time, it's advantageous to get out of the kind of eyesight, or at least we don't want to be in front of our opponent. So a lot of the times this gives them the opportunity when we're in front for them to counter for a lot of that stuff. What we want to be able to do is get behind them as much as possible. And this also kind of mixes in with another tip, because I know a lot of us are experiencing people who are just kind of spamming or are constantly trying to do a counter. But a good way to kind of get it past that is, of course, you have I'm not sure what it is for standard. I think it's still X square, but for classic, it is X square, and you get behind them. And it's a good way to open them up and get them going. So let's restart. Another thing that I know it helps when it comes to mix-ups is a grab. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. Get into grabbing. A lot of us and a lot of people are constantly pressing circle and triangle trying to get that counter. Really, just a quick double X. And boom, you're going to open them up. And I know he's not fighting, but it really is such a useful thing, because like a lot of the times they're just expecting us to swing. They're just expecting us to swing. So get up really close, double X, and you open them up like that, and you can go from there. All right, so that's another tip, just to kind of recap. We want to make sure that we get in behind as much as possible, even from the side. So constantly be sidestepping, constantly be moving, constant, because they have more of an opportunity to counter, guard against us when we're in front, when we're face to face. We want to get behind them as much as possible, okay? And so it is also harder. I don't actually, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know down below, but I don't think they can counter when their back is ahead. And we're gonna force them to use the gauge in the top right or top left. So we're gonna force them to do a revenge counter to get that lower. Which also leads me to my next tip. So I'll see you guys. All right, y'all. My next tip: do not let your opponent breathe. And I at least for me, I have experienced a lot of times that the more I let my opponent charge up, the more they're able to do all that stuff. So really, and this is kind of two tips: take a look at your opponent. Notice whether their key is down, whether their blast gauge, the blue bar at the on top right, is down, if they're low. If they don't have two, if they don't have two or more, that's a perfect time to go in, because they can't do a revenge counter. It takes 2 bars or blast stocks to do it. And so always kind of keep in mind where your opponent is in terms of gauge, in terms of the key. Keep that in mind. If it's high, then maybe you want to stay back a little bit, be prepared for a counter, be prepared for some vanishes, etc. But don't let your opponent charge. Get it in there immediately. Get there in there. Stop them from doing that. And I promise, it will make the battle a lot easier. It is advantageous to apply as much pressure as possible within reason. We don't want to just be spamming, going in, and then all of a sudden I have less than 2 bars of key, and I'm in trouble. Which actually leads me into my next tip. So this is kind of a continuation of whenever you have the opportunity to charge, do it. But guys, I know it's very easy. I know it's flashy to get all these combos in and stuff like that and do our best to finish it and like constantly press our opponent. And I know this kind of contradicts my last tip, but it's okay if they're just knocked back and then you don't follow up. Guess what? It gives you time to charge. It gives you time to get ahead of your opponent in terms of charging. It gives you time to get your gauge up, all that stuff. So then you can go ahead and counter or go ahead and pressure. It's okay to just knock them back. And then as they're trying to recover, boom, charge. You're good. You already have more than your opponent. Then you apply the pressure. Then you keep going. And then you keep pushing. Obviously, I'll build on this in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about it. And then now on to my next. I'm probably going to go over some combos just a little bit. Nothing too major. But guys, also keep in mind, this game is designed to be unbalanced. It's designed so that, you know, if I'm, early Goku, it's going to be a lot harder to beat out a Gogeta who, one, has more health bars than I do, who fights a lot quicker, etc. So don't try to sweat it. Yes, be competitive, etc. But acknowledge that yes, this game is designed to be unbalanced, and I think that's part of the reason why we love it so much, because it is kind of accurate in terms of power scaling a little bit. But yeah, so again, just some combos, just something to take into consideration is that typically you have 5 times you can press square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they are pushed back. You can actually follow this up. So after the 5th square, you press X to move forward, and boom, you're already there. And you get another 5 squares. I believe after 2, that's when it caps, and then you can potentially add in some extra stuff. But that's another great way to continue the combo. So I'm not sure what it's called, let me know. But I believe they're rush attacks or something. So Goku has 1, 2, 3, 4. So he has 2 kicks. You can only do 2 of those kicks or 2 of those rushes before that player is knocked away. Oh, I think on the second one they are knocked away. So let's do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then he's knocked away and my combo's done. You can only have 2 of those. So if it's the gut punch, 1, 2, knocked away again. Keep that in mind. So you can only do that twice. All right, y'all. So another way to kind of add in some mix-ups as well is don't be afraid to hit him with a down triangle. I believe that's the heavy. I'm not sure what it is for standard, but whatever the heavy kind of hit is for y'all, don't be afraid to hit in a down one and trip him up and then go from there, or hit him with the up one and then go from there. And we can talk more about combos if you guys want in another video, but I just kind of want to give you some foundational stuff in terms of, yeah, just what's it called? Mix it up as much as possible. Move. Grab as much as possible, etc. You want to constantly be kind of maneuvering and not giving your opponent to kind of guess what you're about to do, or at least a good guess. So yeah, and guys, I really do appreciate it. This is kind of it for the video. This is more just a jump start to more tutorials, some tips and stuff like that. Let me know more what you kind of want to see in the future. Again, I'm not a professional player. I am very much casual. These are things that I just try to keep in mind when I go into a battle, whether it be CPU, whether I'm playing on ranked, etc. So continue the talk down below. Guys, I cannot emphasize enough how much I love the support recently. Y'all have been very nice in the comment section, and I've loved interacting with y'all. So if you have the bandwidth, keep it up. But I really do appreciate the support, and yeah, just engaging with me and also sharing knowledge as well. I'm not perfect, by no means. I'm very much a casual, but these are just some things to consider. So guys, I really do appreciate you watching, and I will catch you in the next video. And don't forget, let me know what you guys want to see, whether it be combos, whether it be what characters I'm using, etc. All right, peace.